Newsmaker tonight. I'm joined by the Rashtriya Kisan Mazdoor Sanghathan leader VM Singh, who has just withdrawn his organization from the farmers' protest. Appreciate your joining us, Mr. Singh. Can I understand when you say that you're withdrawing from the protest because of the format of the protest being unacceptable? Make sense of it for us. Is it simply because yesterday's tractor rally turned violent? That for you is the reason why you have decided to withdraw from the agitation?
Yesterday was Republic Day, which means a lot for all of us. And day before yesterday, we decided whatever designated routes are coming from Singhu border and the government will go by that. The other organization in Ghazipur, in front of the entire administration, promised us that. And we were trying, after we have a peaceful rally, tractor rally, we'll put pressure on the government to say, okay, fine, now you've talked to Punjab for long, now talk to us. What happened as such is before we went there at the designated spot at 11 o'clock, we were scheduled to leave. We were given to believe that at 10 o'clock, Mr. Rakesh Tikait, he took off from there. He took off from there and broke the barriers and went through. Now, that's not acceptable. And then after that, you know how it happens with little frenzy, flamboyant approach. You know, people started going in there. We had a peaceful rally on the designated route for almost about 3.5 hours. But the tractors even went on the other side to Delhi. And one of the boys even lost his life. Now, this is
I'm trying to understand who was... No, I'm trying to understand, therefore, are you saying that Mr. Tikait betrayed you all or betrayed the cause? Or is it that some anti-social elements infiltrated this? Someone who were not part of the agitation got into it in the last couple of days before the tractor rally? I mean, how is it that Mr. Tikait suddenly seemed to sort of go against what was agreed upon?
See, what happened is such, in the beginning, when I gave a call for 26th, 27th, after that, as you know, I had corona. I took a back seat. And from Ghazipur, only Rakesh Tikait was the only one going for consultation, appointed by the government or whatever it was. He was going there. Now, we were supporting everything that they did there and said, we want a guarantee for minimum support price purchase. Now, when there are two factions here, which are leading the thing there, and then we decide that we're going to go together, if one of them changes gears and goes ahead first, then I think there is some problem around. And I had to think twice on that. And I said, if I'm going to...
I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand, was it Mr. Tikait's decision to sort of, in a way, chart out his own path? Were there some outsiders who infiltrated the movement? Do you see a conspiracy in what happened yesterday to discredit the entire movement? Because I'm hearing from farmers in Singhu also, or farm leaders in Singhu, claiming again that people from outside, in a way, had infiltrated the movement in recent days.
The day before yesterday, we had a strength of almost 40 to 50,000 people in Ghazipur. And there are two people out there, Rakesh Tikait and VM Singh, who were there. There were other splinter groups here and there, everyone was there. We all decided that we would go together. And the administration, I went for a route check twice with them. And we took people along and we decided we're going to go on that route. And they said, no, probably Rakesh Tikait has a problem. I went to his tent with the officers. We talked to him there. And it was decided we'll all go together and leave at 11 o'clock. But when we reached there 10 o'clock in the morning, he had already taken off. So what do we say? If he is representing the Ghazipur unit there in the talks, and he is going his own way, and Delhi instead of the route that we are given, then what are we supposed to do? How long do we support him? And then on a day like Republic Day,
do you think? Yes.
So I said on a day like Republic Day, you have the national flag being kept aside, and you have another flag there, which is not done.
No, so I'm trying to understand who do you hold responsible today? Do you hold just one individual, Rakesh Tikait, or do you believe, as some are arguing, that this was a planned and concerted attempt to divide? Was it spontaneous? the manner in which tractors suddenly changed the route, entered ITO, demolished barricades, then went to Red Fort? Was it spontaneous, or do you believe this was pre-planned?
If it had been spontaneous, then you would have waited till 11 o'clock and said, okay, what do we do? This was the time I sat on it. People forced me to go here and forced me to go there. But if you go 1 hour ahead, it speaks volumes for your timing, number one. And number two, what I'm trying to tell you as such is that all what happened yesterday was extremely painful for any individual in the country today. We have come here to tell the government that Mr. Modi, we have a problem, resolve it. हम बीमार हैं, हमको जो है इलाज चाहिए, हम अस्पताल तोड़ने नहीं आए हैं यहाँ पर. What do we gain by all this? So we have to think that we are giving outside support. How long do we give it? And under these circumstances, when the other person who are giving support is not even going along with us. And I am only talking about Ghazipur right now. And as you said, who's responsible? Yes, the administration is also responsible. If the administration has learned 2 months in advance that they say Lal Kile pe jo aayega usko jhanda phirayega to itna paisa denge. Why didn't you protect the area? Why didn't you have 2 battalions there, 3 battalions there? The administration certainly at fault. Anybody who's done anything wrong, including me, should be put to test and punished.
Because FIRs have been filed against a number of farm leaders, including you, effectively
Absolutely.
suggesting that the farm leaders at the end of the day are accountable. Because you promised the police you would go by a certain route, you would keep it peaceful. Eventually, the rally did not follow that route. There was violence. One person has died. To that extent, do you believe that the farm leaders are accountable? The buck stops with you, not with the administration on this one.
On this point, I agree with you. But when it comes to me and my organization, we were there right on the designated route. We had the DM there. We had the SSP there on the route. We were led by a SP rank officer. We have the video of the entire thing. So if they have a FIR, I mean, I'll have to examine it and see as such. But that's not a worry at all. I got to know this evening about the FIR. That's not a worry. But the point is, the worry is the manner in which the entire proceedings happened yesterday. That's the worry.
May I ask you therefore your decision to withdraw from this agitation, does that mean that you will not participate in any more protests? And where does all that has happened in the last 24 hours leave these protests now? Because as you are saying, in a way the farm protests have got discredited as a result of what has happened yesterday. So where does this leave the farm protests if leaders like you are now going to leave it?
Rajdeep, this protest is regarding the MSP. And this started on 20th October 2000. For 7 days, we didn't even let any train move or any bus move in UP. It's a 20-year-old protest. After that, we've had 7, 8 big protests all over. And any agitation, any andolan, it does not really mean jahan se shuru hua wahin khatam ho jaye. You remember, we had the protest on 9th of August 1942 Quit India movement. We had Bardoli, we had Chora Chori. It moved from here to there, there to here. The protest will continue till we get the MSP at the minimum guaranteed rate. It's going to be there. The protest will carry on, but we'll have to see.
Will they continue in the same form?
Depends on the people.
Will they continue in the same form where there were farmer protesters at Ghazipur? Okay, so you're saying that's for the people to decide whether they will continue in these, in the spots where they are across the border. But do you agree with the broad point I'm making that what has happened yesterday is... Do you agree with the broad point that what has happened yesterday is a huge setback, and as a result now, in a sense, the farmer protesters or the farm leaders will again have to start from scratch in a way? Do you go back to scratch, or do you believe that the movement still has sufficient momentum to continue?
What has happened yesterday was shameful, but no agitation is based on the leaders alone. Muddon ka agitation hota hai, based on the basic values of the agitation and the issues concerned. The issues are very, very big. For last 20 years we've been fighting it. We'll continue to fight it. Leaders come and leaders go. The issues shall remain.
I know that sounds very well, but would you agree that the momentum has been lost?
I don't know. I am only a supporting player here in Ghazipur and a big supporting player as that. And yet, when the person we are supporting, he does not go at tandem with us. He does not go on what the Singhu border has told us. He does not go what the police has given in writing. Then what do we do? Where do we stand? And why should I take the responsibility of taking my boys and the people there and getting them killed for what?
So you've got Rakesh Tikait under the scanner for what happened in Ghazipur. The Singhu Punjab Union farmers are questioning the role of Deep Sindhu, the actor who is supposedly close to BJP MP Sunny Deol, and his role at Red Fort in the entire fracas that took place. I ask you today, do you believe outsiders have taken over this movement?
Rajdeep, I have a counter question. I'm sorry on this account. When we all believe that outsiders can always come in at this point in time, then why even give a marching order for 1st of February that we shall march to the parliament again when you have seen that we cannot tackle it? So this is something which is a lot of, I mean, it's painful. A lot of concern has to be put in now to put the Andolan in order. And for Uttar Pradesh, I'm going to talk to my fellow colleagues, the fellow leaders there, and try and take it in the right direction there. We were the ones who picked it up 20 years ago. We shall actually see it sees the light of the day.
Okay. Mr. Singh, as always, thank you very much for joining us on a day where, in a sense, you've sent out a clear message. You believe that the farm protests, in a way, need some kind of course correction. This isn't the way forward. I appreciate your joining us here on the news today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.